Well, this is what you wanted, Itachi Uchiha. Even so, I never expected your brother to push you as far as he did. The cloaked figure stood over the lifeless Itachi and unconscious Sasuke. The red clouds stood out against the gray sky and falling rain. An orange mask covered his face, which looked up as he sensed someone approaching him. Naruto Uzumaki, I see you killed Kasame. What a shame. He was a powerful pawn. The man spoke in a deep voice. Who are you? Naruto asked. Eyes blood red, orange chakra slowly receding into his body. Madara Uchiha. Liar. The Nine-Tails would know if you were him. You can drop the voice too. I know you're the one who stopped Kakashi-sensei from bringing Sasuke back home then. The fox recognizes your chakra. The man sighed. Fine. Then I suppose acting as Toby is pointless as well. Now, this has been a touching reunion, but I have Uchiha business to take care of. Naruto frowned. I don't think so. You're not taking Sasuke. He's coming with me. The masked man sighed. You are the most annoying Jinchuriki of the bunch. It's no wonder you've managed to live this long. Once more, I have no time to play with you. Too bad! Sakura was behind the man in an instant, her fist passing through his head. The man reached for her face. Sakura had taken another swing at his chest, both their attacks passing through one another. Sakura jumped away as the man was peppered with pink fireballs. So, you can become intangible, but you can't attack at the same time either, Sakura grunted. You catch on quick. As expected of a student of Kakashi and Tsunade, the masked man replied. That technique must use a lot of chakra, Naruto stated. And since I outclass you in the stamina department, you're not going anywhere with Sasuke. Kakashi didn't think I could escape him either, yet I did. Naruto smirked. I'm not as easygoing as Kakashi-sensei, and since you're with the Akatsuki, I have no problem going all out. I already killed Kisame. Killing you will just be icing on the cake. Sakura became nervous as Naruto's eyes glowed red with hunger for blood. He was different than before. He'd snapped, killing Kisame in the process. Sakura knew how much Naruto hated killing, but now it looked like the opposite. His rage for the Akatsuki was unlike any other if it was enough to make him like this. They needed to defeat the masked man quickly, before Naruto was pulled in too far by the Nine-Tails. The masked man was bombarded with stone spikes, all of them passing through his body. Sakura jumped in, surprised to see the man block her punch while throwing his own. Naruto was quick to deliver a knee to the face, forcing the masked man to become intangible. Their taijutsu continued to keep the masked man from hitting back, making him disappear through a strange vortex. Naruto turned just in time to protect Sakura from a fireball using Mud Wall. Ice Style! Rasen Shuriken! Naruto was betting on his speed to surpass the masked man's, allowing him to land a hit. But he simply walked out of the mountain of ice, wielding a pair of kunai. It's useless, Jinchuriki. You're unable to land the finishing blow, and I cannot reach you or your partner. A stalemate that could continue forever. Naruto growled, lowering to all fours, orange chakra bubbling across his body. Sakura, get Sasuke out of here. I'll hold him off. Sakura nodded, focusing chakra to her legs rather than her fists. The moment Naruto dashed, she aimed for the unconscious Sasuke. Naruto's barrage of steam-powered kicks and explosive punches kept the man on the move. He was ready to throw his kunai, but Naruto batted him away, landing his first blow to the man's orange mask. Only a surge of chakra kept it from shattering, but Naruto could feel his fist connect with the man's face. He glanced back to see Sakura running off with Sasuke. He just needed to buy a minute for her to get far enough. You're the biggest thorn in my side. more than even Kakashi. But you are his student, and son of the 4th Hokage, so I should have expected as much. But this is the end of it. Naruto snarled, gathering chakra in his legs. He dashed straight for the masked man, only to hear a cluster of voices cry out in his mind. The masked man's eyes stared at Naruto, one of the 2 Sharingan transforming, a shuriken with 4 points surrounded by red. The tail beast's chakra exploded out of Naruto, the blonde unleashing a guttural scream. Eyes rolled back as 5 tails of chakra condensed behind him. The masked man watched in horror as Naruto writhed on the ground before crying out once more and losing consciousness. The 9 tails. No, all the tail beasts. They forcibly took control of him, knocking him out, all to avoid being caught by Koto Amatsukami? The masked man muttered in shock. How did they know about Shisui's Mangekyo? Did that crow Itachi implanted in him transfer information too? Perhaps. More likely, it was that fox. Kushina was knowledgeable of the Uchiha clan, and anything that could take over the 9 tails. He sighed. Whatever the case, taking him is the best course of action. The masked man reached into thin air, pulling out a new mask and fastening it to his head. He then reached for Naruto, only for his gloves to instantly combust. Orange chakra still swirled around the sleeping Uzumaki. Beasts are still protecting him? If I can't touch him, I can't pull him into the Kamui dimension. Damn it. To think the tail beasts would save him. Fine then. Sasuke and Itachi will have to do. Zetsu, have you completed your task? A Venus flytrap-like structure appeared out of the ground, opening to reveal a black and white face. I have Sasuke, but I'm afraid the girl, Sakura, is right behind me. I cannot compete with her if she catches up. She already forced me to reveal I have wood style. That will complicate things. The masked man sighed, lifting Itachi's corpse. We got what we came for. No use being greedy. Water style, liquid bullets! A wooden dome formed around Zetsu and the masked man. It was destroyed with a single punch from Sakura, but she couldn't reach the man as his body swirled out of existence. Zetsu burrowed into the ground, Sakura trying to grab him. She failed, and not even turning the earth into dust allowed her to find the strange being. She cursed under her breath. Once again, she and Naruto had failed. Sasuke figured it had been days since he'd fallen asleep. He had expected to wake in the Leaf Hospital, but what he got instead was a dimly lit cave, one person sitting in the shadows. Sasuke was ready to fight, only for the man to step out and begin taking off his orange mask. Sasuke instantly felt a sharp pain in his eyes, black flames sprouting across the man's clothing. The man stepped out of the shadows shortly after, unscathed. Saying Itachi had put a plan in effect for him in the case he took Sasuke. Sasuke was confused, the man settling down and beginning his story. It shook Sasuke to his very core. It was impossible. Even when the masked man cast a genjutsu to show him the truth, Sasuke couldn't accept it. The masked man finally got through to the Uchiha, leaving him broken and confused. His Mangekyo formed unwillingly in pain and grief. His entire purpose for revenge was nothing but lies now. Lies Itachi enforced to keep him safe. Coming to the Leaf after the Chunin exams and invasion to make sure he was alive. Trying to seal the curse mark to free him of Orochimaru. Fueling Sasuke to become strong enough to kill him. It all formed into this twisted sense of love. Sasuke hated the Leaf, blaming it for forcing this outcome. The masked man saw it all in his Mangekyo Sharingan, which donned a red, flower-like design. What would have happened if the coup was successful? Sasuke finally asked after what had to be hours. The masked man tilted his head. The Uchiha would have likely won, even with Itachi fighting against them. So, Itachi would have been my enemy either way? You could say that. In the end, the Hidden Leaf is the reason your brother took the path he did. If they hadn't treated the Uchiha like enemies, things would have been better. Sasuke sighed, glaring at the man. The only reason the village feared my clan is because of the Nine-Tails attack. But you and I know the fox didn't run rampant on its own. The Leaf suspected an Uchiha, as they should have, but they focused on the wrong ones. Am I right? The masked man tensed as Sasuke slowly rose to his feet. You're the one, aren't you? You pulled the fox out of Naruto's mother, who then killed her and the fourth Hokage. It's your fault. All this time, right? The masked man sighed after a moment of silence. I wished you hadn't pieced that together, Sasuke. He took off his mask, locking eyes with Sasuke. What are you going to do about it? Sasuke was quiet for a moment, eyes never wavering as they reverted to coal black, a twisted grin adorned his face, menacing chakra oozing from his pores. The Leaf Village will pay for wounding my brother, for making him kill my family. They allowed him to spare me, and they will regret it. And I'll start by killing the one responsible for it all, Danzo. I have a suggestion. Get Naruto Uzumaki on your side. It should be easy to manipulate him with all those promises he keeps making, the masked man added, slowly putting his mask back on. Sasuke nodded, reaching for his new Akatsuki cloak. The masked man chuckled to himself. This is all too easy. It seems the younger brother was just as easy to use as the older brother. Hidden Leaf Village, 1 week later. Naruto flexed his muscles as he was released from the hospital. When the tailed beasts forcibly took over to protect him from the masked man, most of his body was broken and torn from the strain. Haku was worried sick, of course, but Naruto was too busy with his own thoughts. Failure to bring Sasuke back never stopped being painful. The only consolation he and Sakura had was that the masked man was unlikely to kill Sasuke. That wasn't all, as Haku found out. Naruto would kill Kisame, willingly, and that realization was now settling in. Naruto wished he didn't feel this way. Much like Orochimaru, he had no reason to let the Akatsuki live, yet he couldn't bear to think of them dead. They'd hurt so many, himself included. He didn't understand why he was sorry for them. Haku watched the blonde in silence as they walked through the village. This was something Naruto had to find the answer to himself, that she knew. People like her, who killed without this remorse, couldn't understand. All she could do was stare at his side, to let him know whatever his choice, she would be there. Her devotion wasn't lost to Naruto, the two finding themselves holding hands as they walked. The stares faded into nothing from the cool warmth he felt. Naruto, I've been looking for you. Naruto stopped, eyes brightening. Captain Yamato, do you have those scrolls I asked for? The Anbu nodded, handing the blonde a pair of scrolls. Those should allow you to learn a few wood-style jutsu. I recommend breaking up your training with water and earth-style exercises. Naruto nodded, face growing grim. I have a favor to ask. Can you teach me the technique you used to seal the Nine-Tails? Yamato took a moment to reply. I'm afraid not. The first Hokage couldn't be a Jinchuriki of the Nine-Tails, partially because he has the power to seal it with wood style. If you were to learn such a skill, it may hinder your ability to use the fox's power. I know you avoid that at all costs, but there is no doubt in my mind you will need it. especially with only 3 Jinchuriki left. Naruto nodded in understanding, turning when Haku squeezed his hand. Lord Zabuza is currently following a lead on the Six Tails and their host. I'm also told Tsunade has considered calling for a Kage summit, and the Hidden Cloud seems to agree. Naruto smiled in thanks. Let's hope something good comes out of it. And thank you, Yamato. These scrolls are a big help. Yamato nodded, vanishing in a swirl of leaves. Looks like I just missed Yamato, a voice muttered behind them. I'll have to talk to him later then. What are you doing here, Kakashi? Haku asked. Looking for you too, the Jonin replied. The first reason regards the masked man you fought. I take it he could become intangible? Naruto nodded. There's no doubt in my mind that he's an Uchiha, or at least has Sharingan, and of the Mangekyo form. Each eye has a different ability, right? Kakashi nodded. One to become intangible, and he can seemingly pull things into a vortex, similar to your Kamui, but he has to be up close. And what of his other Mangekyo? Kakashi asked. Naruto grimaced. According to the tailed beasts, I would have been trapped in an unbreakable genjutsu that could control my actions and thoughts. They had to step in just to save me. Kakashi folded his arms. Strange. Do you know how the tailed beasts knew this? Apparently the Nine Tails knew, though he didn't explain how. He called the technique Koto Amatsukami, I think. Kakashi turned pale, eyes wide in shock and fear. That's impossible. It must be. What's wrong, Kakashi-sensei? Naruto asked, confused by the horror on his teacher's face. Koto Amatsukami belonged to an Uchiha by the name of Shisui. He was revered as the fastest in his clan with his body flicker, surpassed only by her father with the flying Raijin. It's said Itachi killed Shisui before the massacre, but his body was never recovered, including his eyes. It's entirely possible this masked man found the corpse and stole them. How powerful is Koto Amatsukami? Haku asked. It's considered more like brainwashing than genjutsu. It has the power to change your personality, your thoughts and beliefs, and even create new memories, all of which replaces your current self. I don't know if Shisui had the power in both eyes, but I do know he had a limit to how often he could use the ability. For anyone else to use it, it will require tremendous amounts of chakra and a long recharge time. Even if it's another Uchiha, they probably couldn't use it more than once every few years. Naruto grimaced. Then we need to deal with him soon. But with those 2 Mangekyo powers, it will be difficult. I barely landed a single hit, and I have no doubt he was holding back his full power. On top of that, this new Akatsuki member Sakura met who has wood style. And that's not all, Naruto seized. Kakuzu and Hidan are still out there. You also know there's one female member, though her powers are unknown. And lastly, their leader. Haku felt the fear in his voice. You mentioned you saw him before he captured Roshi and Han. Do you know what he can do? Naruto clutched his heart. The tailed beasts know. Better than anyone, in fact. That's partly why I went crazy. The Akatsuki's leader has the most dangerous eyes in the world. Ones that only the Sage of Six Paths was said to possess. Both Kakashi and Haku turned snow white, thoughts of the ancient legend echoing through their minds. At the center of all the stories regarding the Sage of Six Paths were the eyes he possessed. The last of the 3 great ocular powers, stronger than the Sharingan and Byakugan, even when combined. A silvery purple, with several rings around the pupil. Naruto's voice trembled, fused with the tailed beast's voices, consumed by rage. The Akatsuki's leader has the Rinnegan. If you like what you just heard, consider hitting the subscribe button and bell icon to get notified about new videos. If there's a part you've missed, then check out the entire playlist on screen. If you like this story, please share it with your fellow anime lovers. Any support helps a lot. That's all for now. This is Ninja Kai, disappearing in a golden flash.